Hello friends, my name is Emile and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic, this time taking a look at the Vauxhall Calibra Super Touring car. This should be interesting. We've had one more of these Super Touring cars go around before. It was the Alfa Romeo 155 and unfortunately it did suffer a little bit from understeer. However, I'm curious to see how the Calibra does. 555 horsepower, 1060 kilograms of weight, not a whole lot of torque, but it does have four-wheel drive. Anyways, it is going to have 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is a Suzuki Cultus Pikes Peak Edition that set a time of 28.209, which the Calibra is unlikely to get close to, but you never know. If it's an absolute handling god, it might just about do it. But of course, this is a DTM car, and like with the Alfa Romeo, we have a ridiculously large red line on this car. Or lots and lots of revs to play with, I should say. And already I'm trying to get... I drove the drag car. That was the last car I drove in this series, so trying to get used to a car that actually has like grip and good brakes is a weird experience. Also trying to get used to a car that doesn't quite accelerate as quickly as those drag cars did. A 33.085. As an opener, of course, like I said though, just trying to get used to as a car. It looks like this lap's going to be used for a little bit of getting used to, but eventually after this lap we should be ready to rock and roll. So far though, feels nice. Definitely feels like I've got a little bit more turning grip than I ever did with the Alfa Romeo. Although, it's got a slight bit of low speed understeer. I've spoken about this before on this series, you know, race cars like these, which are really good cars, but they just do not have they can't carry the speed into the corners on this course that they'd like to get their downforce down, and as a result, that does make them slower. This car kind of does suffer a little bit with that. Whenever I'm making notes for Forza Top Gear laps, about cars that don't have enough speed to get downforce down, I call them speed force cars, and I guess that's sort of what this does feel a little bit like. Also, as much as I love the rev happy nature of this car, it does kind of have that issue that some NA cars have. Ooh god, yeah, it doesn't like the bumps, really doesn't like the bumps. I was trying to see if I could maybe do what I do in some of the other cars and take some liberties on those corners, but you really cannot. Yeah, it has... I've lost my train of thought. Never mind. I was going somewhere with that. Oh yeah, like with some of the NA tuning cars, it is very much one of those cars that is really dependent on you being in low gears all the time to actually get any power out of this, because it just does not have enough torque. That is a bit of a problem. I want to pull a good lap time out the Calibra. I know this can do better than I'm driving it. Right. And we're going to cut the track. Right, let's regroup ourselves and try and get a good lap time out of this car at the end. But yeah, doesn't like the bumps. That is one issue with this car. Let's try and get a nice run up onto here. Really try to eke out all of the handling in this car. Around this corner, we are a little bit quicker. I think the Alpha's at like a 30.4 or 30.4. I think it's like a 30 point something, 30.9 I want to say, I don't know. And actually I should have looked at the Alpha's time before I came out here and did this, but never mind. That does not count as track cut-in. A 30.391 for the Calibra. I almost had a slight concern that we wouldn't get a good lap out of this car, but I'm happy with that. It actually does feel like it could genuinely go a little bit quicker, but I don't really know how far you could really push this car. Once again, it's another one of those laps which is best on the final lap, but yeah, I think you could probably get this down to like a 30.2 maybe, but yeah, there is a couple of issues with the Calibra. Anyways, let's go see where it places on our leaderboard. Onto the leaderboard then, and the Vauxhall Calibra goes into 12th place with a 30.391, very slightly behind the Alfa Romeo 155 Super Touring car that is its closest rival in the game. Also loses out to an R34 Auto Bikes, but it does do a pretty decent time. Beats out the Mitsubishi Galant Super VR4, Super Impreza Sedan GT, R33 Skyline, so on and so forth. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Hot Lap Classic. If you have cars you'd like to request for the series, you can do so in the comment section and go to the description for a full request this form. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.